So the new contracts, the not new contracts, the contract adjustments are getting ready to come out. And I love going over this with agents. I always get contract questions and I love going over it with agents. You know what? Because people don't read. People don't read. I have brokers of other offices that don't read. And I'm not talking trash. I'm just talking statements of fact. Statements of fact. They don't read. So let's go over this real quick. 40 pages. Shouldn't take longer than about 10, 15 minutes. If you're driving down the road, just listen to the audio. Don't watch the video. I won't make any weird faces. I'll just go over straight facts. All right, so contract changes coming up in 2026, guys. So table of contents, people that worked on it. Oh, the people that worked on it, great job for them. They did really good this time. I really think they did good this time. So first thing that they point out, page 5 of 40. See, we're already 5 of 40 pages through. What is that, like 10%? No, that's not 10%. What is that? It's some percentage. Someone will pull up a calculator and tell me how many percentages it is. Oh, yeah. If you don't know who I am, Josh Barnett, been in the business a little over 18 years. I have a team of agents throughout the state of Oklahoma, and I've had my own brokerage. I've been at a small mom and pop's brokerage. I've been at a big franchise brokerage. I've been at a big mom and pop's brokerage, and then now I'm at the largest independent brokerage in the world. So that's who I am. If you're clicking on this and you're like, what is this overweight, bald dude talking about the contract for? Like, why should I listen to him? I've done a lot of deals. I've been a part of, I think, 640 deals personally. 640 deals personally, and a little over 1,600, 1,700 that my team and my referral agents that I work with throughout the United States have closed. So I know a little bit. And I graduated high school. I know how to read. I know how to read, and I use that. I use that ability in helping the agents that I work with. So right here, first change at the Real Estate Commission. Remember, this isn't sponsored by the Real Estate Commission. This is me, Josh Barnett, a regular guy who's out there selling houses just like you guys every day, going over it with you for people that want to know what's right. If you want to know what's wrong and just do what you've always done for the last 20 or 30 years, if that's you and you're like, I've always done it that way. Look, if you want to jump off a bridge head first, just like everyone else, go for it. I'm all for that. If that's what you want to do, I won't stop you. That's your thing. But if you want to know that if you bring in your arms tight, cross your legs, and tighten up when you hit the water, if you want to know the right way to jump off a bridge and hit the water, that's what this video is about, okay? If you want to go dive in head first and possibly lean forward too much on that and do a back hit off the bridge, off Eufaula, that's you, man. That's you. More power to you, okay? Cheers. I'll be right on that boat, swimming out there to get you. No worries. Okay, page 1. All right. And I'll have timestamps down below too. Timestamps down below. If you're like, I don't want to listen to Josh's commentary, just skip around. Timestamps down below. But you'll see. Whatever. You'll see. Whatever. Okay, so first change. Generator and solar panels if owned. Guys, this is paragraph 4. They cut it out right here. Paragraph 4. It's an important paragraph. I literally highlight it on all my contracts, and I make the sellers and the buyers initial it because I want them, if they're like, well, I thought I could take the curtain. No, you didn't. No, we went over it verbally. We went over it verbally like every time I talk to you about the contract, and you initialed it. So right here on paragraph 4, generator and solar panels if owned was the old language, the new language, and attached. Huh? That'll solve some disputes. And attached. The people that get on these committees and make these changes, I feel like they lived through something. That they're not telling us. That more power to them. My heart goes out to them. I know I've lived through some crazy things on these contracts. But generators is solar panels if owned. And that means you have one thing and another thing that have to be together. They have to be in the same sentence, okay? And it means the same sentence. So they have to first be owned and they have to be attached. If it meets those two requirements, that generator, those solar panels, stay. All right. That's the first thing that came up. Solar panels and generators. Pretty crazy. All right. Over here on page 4 still. Oh, well, that wasn't page 4, was it? That was page 2. Yeah, that was page 2. Okay, now we're looking at page 4, paragraph 10, Charlie. So it used to have right here, expense of the land boundary report or survey shall be paid for. I think I think that that was just an old typo, probably. That's probably all that was. We all knew what it was because we're in real estate, but someone probably brought it up who's like, "That's wrong. That's not spelled right." Well, thank you. That's a good point. That's not spelled right. So over here, the expense of the mortgage inspection report. I'm so glad they're calling it what it is, an MIR, a mortgage inspection report. It's not a survey. The surveyor literally writes on the MIR. This is not a survey. Why do so many people call it a survey? They're lying. They're liars. And I know you've seen this in my other video. The expense of the mortgage inspection report, correct word, or land boundary report or survey shall be paid by check one. Check one. I like that. Great change. Any questions on that change? All right. Change number 3. Land boundary pin survey, mortgage inspection report, the expense of mortgage inspection report, and then over here, buyer elects not to receive the land boundary report, the survey, or the mortgage inspection report. And I think this is just cleaning up the language. I think that's all it is. Reordered to put mortgage inspection report first, change to pin stake boundary survey throughout the section for consistency. So they just cleaned up the language right there. Awesome job. Awesome. If the more uniform, the more everything flows correctly, the more it matches the sentences before and after it, the better the document. Awesome change there on page number 7. Page 8, they moved right here underneath expense shall be paid for by the buyer. They put title, they're describing right here what the title evidence is. The abstract, the commitment, the title opinion, the UCC search, and the survey is part of the title evidence. Well, they stuck that under clause delta, which makes sense. They just cleaned up the report. Nothing wrong with cleaning up a contract. Nothing wrong at all with that. So over here, change 1. Looks like we're looking at the disclosures. Yep, residential property condition disclosures. Yep, that's what we're looking at. So the previous version, solar panels and generators, lease, owned, or financed. Updated version, solar panels on their own line, lease, owned, or financed. Generators on their own line, leased, owned, or financed. Okay, that makes sense. Given it its own lines, that makes sense, right? That makes sense. So over here, previous version, still looking at the disclosures. Public septic lagoon. Over here, sewer system is public or private. Okay. Sewer system is public or private. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. And then if it's private, they broke out the different types of septic systems. So they have septic system aerobic, septic system lateral lines, and septic system lagoon. Okay, that makes sense. Questions on that? A lot of the agents that I work with, they're like, what the heck's a lagoon? If they go sell a house like out in Lincoln County or any of those rural counties, it's just a big square. It's a big square where the poo-poo goes. It's a big square. Now, okay, let me take that back. The poo-poo is not supposed to go there because there is a tank before the big pond, before the big square. So the poo-poo is supposed to go in the tank still. It's supposed to. And then it goes out to the poo-poo pond or the poop juice pond. Yeah, it goes to the poop juice pond. So you'll have a tank off the house still. And then the sludge and the poo-poo will go and fall in the tank, okay? And then you'll still have your yeast and stuff eating that poo-poo, and you'll probably need to clean that out still occasionally. But you still have the drainage going to an open pond where turtles can live and cattails can grow. And don't let cattails grow in the poo-poo pond. That's actually a DEQ violation, I believe. But remember, do your own research. This is not a guarantee, warranty, or any of that stuff. This is just me talking with you, real estate to real estate agent, letting you know, hey, this is what it is, but I'm not licensed in poo-poo ponds. I'm not, okay? I'm a licensed real estate agent. Okay, so any questions on how they did that? I like how they broke that down right there. That's a good breakdown. It's letting the consumer know if it's a septic aerobic system, septic lateral lines, or septic lagoon. Okay, that makes sense. Scrolling on down, more disclosure changes. So previous, it talked about flood zones, and check this out. My dog's barking at squirrels right now. I've got 2 squirrels that are teasing the poo-poo out of her right now. That's hilarious. So updated version. They broke down the flood zone. There's so much stuff here now. Are you aware if the dwelling or improvements are located in FEMA defined flood zone? Yes, no, or unknown. If yes, what type? They broke it down. And then right here, if yes, right here. And then they put, are you aware if the dwelling or improvements are located in municipal or other government-defined flood zone? Wow. So they're wanting you to check FEMA's flood zones and the city flood zones. Okay. Wow. Sellers going to have a lot of homework to do on their properties now. That's crazy. And then yes, no, or unknown. If yes, what type? So they've got the unknown box. I bet 99% of the sellers are checking that one. And then right here, are you aware if the dwelling or improvements are located in an adjacent to a regulated flood control reservoir, a dam? Well, wow. They're just making the sellers disclose more about possible floods. That's all they're doing. That's all they're doing there. Let's scroll on down, guys. All right, change 4. It's not there. This is the first time this came out. They're going to come out with better ones. So there's nothing there. And then the updated version of change 4. Are you aware of any warranties covering the property, its fixtures or improvements? Foundation, roof, or shingles? Ooh, I like that. That's a good question. Thumbs up if you that's a good question for the seller disclosure. So that's good. More residential property. Oh, the disclaimer. Okay, so the previous old disclaimer was, I don't know anything about the property. It basically said, I don't know. I never lived there. I don't have a clue. Updated. Defines it a little more. So defect means a condition, malfunction, problem that would have a material adverse effect on the monetary value of the property or that would impair the health, safety, or future occupants of the property. What changed right there? Why'd they highlight that green? Have a material adverse effect, value, property, impair, or they added the word that. Nope, they both have the word that. If you know what words changed there, let me know. Or safety of future occupants of the property. I'm not seeing any changes in the words there. This is my I read over this real quick last night when I saw it come out because I was excited. And then now I'm going into a little more detail with you guys. And so before, it just, the seller states never occupied the property, sign here. And right here it says the undersized seller states the following regarding the property located at address. So address right there. And then it used to have a seller's signature on the line. Now it says seller never occupied the property, initial. Seller has no actual knowledge of the property, initial. Seller makes no disclosures concerning the property, initial. So it just makes the seller give you 3 more initials. So the seller should probably be initialing every one of those. If the seller can't initial one of those, it probably means they need to fill out the disclosures. That's probably what the Real Estate Commission is trying to do right there. If they cannot initial one of these, then that means that they probably need to fill out a disclosure. That's probably what the Real Estate Commission is doing right there. The Real Estate Commission hasn't come out with their rundown on these yet. So remember, I'm not an attorney, not giving you legal advice. We're just 2 real estate agents talking out loud, getting to know each other, because one day we're probably going to be working together and want to have some good relationships with each other and getting this stuff done. And there's so many people out there who don't read, and there's so many people out there that refuse to read. Hey, at least watch this video. At least know what Josh's point of view is when you get Josh's contract come across, that he probably read the contract and he's probably going to do what the contract says. So, okay. Any questions on the disclaimer? That's cool. That's cool. If they can't initial one of those, that means they need to fill out a disclosure probably. Cooperative compensation supplement, updated version. Initials. Oh, they added the initials. Include clarifying language for counteroffers and added initials. I love the initials. Every page. There's nothing wrong with it. Before they had initial, they had the word initial spot, and then the word initial again, initial spot. I mailed them immediately when that came out. That was so frustrating. So much easier for the software to auto-populate these initials when it's like that. So, any questions on stating in the event of a counteroffer on an ORC counteroffer form, seller initial and do not sign? What? No way. Cooperative compensation supplement. I don't know if I like that. In the event of a counteroffer on an ORC counteroffer form, seller initials but do not. Man, I don't know. I don't know if I like that. I'm going to have to email them something about that. That's crazy. They have to initial other forms sometimes. They have to initial other addendums. Yeah, they have to initial other addendums. I don't like that. I don't know. I don't know. Listing agreement. Why did they put that there? Why did they put that there? Huh. I'd much rather have them initial on that one. That's an important form. There were lawsuits over that form. There were class action lawsuits over that form. That's still rippling through the industry today. That's pretty crazy. Listing agreement. Okay, so timestamp listing agreement. All right. Changes on page 1, paragraph 3, previous version. So here was how they broke out the compensation for the listing agent before. When the listing agent goes and takes the listing, goes to sell a listing, and used to could subcontract it to other agents in the area to help them sell it. But now they can't subcontract it. The seller has to pay some other agent now directly to help them sell it. Crazy, crazy, stupid stuff. Stupid stuff. What's happened. But hey, it's either here or there. That's just an opinion. Updated version. They really broke it down now. So before it was broken down like that, which made sense if you read it. But now it's really broken down. Now it says total compensation of whatever your total compensation is right there. And then it says if there's cooperation between brokerages, the seller's broker will get blank of the total sales price of the property. The buyer will get blank of the total sales price of the property. So it just breaks it down a little bit more. Seller acknowledges is not required to make offer compensation. With another compensation paid for, it shall be divided as follows. So, okay. Seller does or does not authorize to make known offers of compensation. Okay, so it just broke down the compensation a little more. They updated the listing agreement just like they updated the sales agreement. They put if owned on the generator and the seller and the solar panels, and they put the words attached. So before it didn't have the word and attached. Now it has the word and attached. It has to be attached to be real estate. It makes sense. Has to be attached to be real estate. So if anyone was throwing a fit over something that wasn't attached, it's personal property. It's personal. You don't expect to keep people's cars when they're sitting in the driveway, do you? You can't keep their generators or solar panels unless they're attached. They have to be attached. That makes sense. Comment down below if you think something different. Comment down below. You're probably going to pull up the fire poker example, right? Yeah. Everything's determined up to a judge. Everything's determined up to a judge because fire pokers aren't attached. I get it. I know the example you guys were probably talking about, but right here, generators or solar panels, they're definitely making it state it has to be attached. So yeah, there'll probably be lawsuits against that. There probably will be. Previous version, no treatments, repairs, or replacements on the TRR form. Now it says no treatments, replacement, repairs in connection with the buyer's investigation. This election by the buyer does not require a seller's signature to be binding if delivered prior to the date specified in the treatments, replacements, and reviews paragraph of the contract. This all came about because of COVID, because a seller used to have an out. If a seller was done with the buyer, if a seller had been over backwards to lower the price, give the buyer concessions, all this other stuff, and then the buyer come up with a crazy TRR, the seller could be like, bye, screw you, bye. I'm not signing that TR. I'm done with you. I'm tired of dealing with you. I'm going to go get another buyer. The contract would void itself out. Previously, 2024 and forward. 2025, it switched it over. 2025, the buyer could sign the TRR and still keep it, saying they accept it as is. And now they're just making it now where buyers just have more of a choice to keep it as is. I really think that's doing a disservice to the sellers. Because the sellers used to be able to be like, I'm not signing. I'm tired of this person. I'm tired of this little whiny baby. Let them go bug someone else about all their wants and desires in a house. I've given them everything they got and they still want more. I'm tired of this person. Let the contract expire. You can't do that anymore. Can't do that anymore using OREX forms. And this right here just reemphasizes the fact that you can't do that anymore. If they turn in a TRR that says no repairs, that means that you don't need the seller's signature on it. So I get what they're doing there, saying, hey, this is as is. I'm buying it as is. I'm just turning this in to check off a check mark on my real estate agent's checklist. I get that. Before, if a buyer wanted to buy a house as is, they could just not turn in a TRR, and that literally meant they're accepting the home as is. And I bet that clause is still in the contract. So this sentence right here on the TRR is literally to check off those brokers And those real estate agents list who turn in a TR that says they're accepting the house as is, just as another check mark, even though the contract already says that if they don't turn in a TRR that they're accepting the home as is. This is just another check mark for the real estate broker's files is all that is. So call me if you got questions on that. I'll go way more in detail on it. There's way more stuff associated with that we could go over, but not on this short little intro video. So all other treatments, replacements requested by the buyer shall be enforced unless modified below. That makes sense. That makes sense. So previous version, all other, updated version, all treatments, repairs, and replacements requested by the seller shall be in full force unless modified below. All other. So they remove the word other. Remove the word other, clarifying when the seller modifies the buyer's request. Okay, that makes sense. Condition of sale not under contract. I think they really broke this out more. Mortgage inspection report. Oh, no, they just put correct language. Not a MIC, mortgage inspection certificate. They're using the word mortgage inspection report. Is that what they're doing right there? Including mortgage inspection certificate. Yeah, they're fixing it. They're using the right language. Okay, I like that. I like that a lot. You even get title companies saying, we'll send the surveyor out to do the survey. You mean the mortgage inspection report? A survey is like $1,200, $2,500. A mortgage inspection report's like $300, $400. Big difference. Big difference. Words matter. They get all butt hurt over that. They get all butt hurt over that. I love it. I love it too when title companies send me like all this stuff, like their disclosures, their wire fraud docs, their everything. They're like, make sure the buyer gets this. And I respond back with, I'm not an abstractor or a title insurance licensee. You need to send this to the buyer and go over it with them. That's your job. You need to do that. And they get butt hurt. They want me to go over their disclosures, go over their wiring fraud statement. Like, what kind of crazy title company is that? Come on. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to work outside my license. No. And I don't recommend you as agents work outside your license either. The title company needs to go over the title company docs. We're not title companies. We can't become party to the title company's agreement with the buyer. That's between the title company and them. Verify everything with your broker. Read. Just read, guys. Read. What do the words say? Are you supposed to work outside your license? Does the real estate commission ask you to work outside your license? Do they? Okay. Buyer's removal of condition certificate. Right here. Survey, mortgage inspection report. Clarifying language. Love it. Oh, real quick, guys. If you are in the market for a new brokerage, if you're kicking around the idea of, I've gotten out everything I can get out of this brokerage, or you're just fed up with complete weird stuff that your brokerage requires, guys, reach out. Like I said, I've been at a small mom and pop brokerage. I've been at a big mom and pop brokerage. I've been at a franchise. I've had my own brokerage, and now I'm at the largest independent broker in the whole nation, in the whole world. Guys, I'm over at eXp Realty. If you got any questions about the tools, the technology, the broker service, the accounting service, the behind the desk service, if you're a new agent, a seasoned agent, a team leader, or a broker owner, I swear your life will be easier over at eXp Realty if you plug into the system and use it. Now, is it perfect? Is eXp Realty perfect? No, there's nowhere that's perfect. But at least you'll have me helping you out through everything, getting you through everything over at eXp Realty, and you'll absolutely be able to leverage their mentorship program, which trains your new agents better than my college education. Way better than my college education. I was literally teaching my own college classes when I was at college. God bless me very much. I was in a great position that I could teach my own classes when I was in college when it came to real estate. But the mentorship program, guys, way better training modules, way better instructional videos, way better than what I was putting together 20 years ago. Okay. Promise you. If you've got accounting questions, transaction questions, anything like that, you can jump in the world, get help right away. It blows you away. It's amazing. If you're a broker owner who's ready to just sit back and be more of a sales leader with your brokerage, reach out to me. I want to chat with you about how eXp Realty can make that transition a lot easier for you. If you're a team leader and you're like, Josh, I need to expand, I need to grow, I need to make this more, reach out to me. I'd love to chat with you about how eXp Realty can help you take your team and implement it in other states. If you want to go to Arkansas, California, Seattle, if you want to go to Illinois, and I know Seattle's located in Washington, okay, I know that. If you want to expand your team throughout the nation, reach out to me. I'd love to chat with you about how eXp Realty is obsessed with your success. Whether you're a new agent, seasoned agent, broker owner, or team leader, it's got all sorts of different levels that will make your life easier. All right, let's get back to these contract changes. New home construction. It's this right here, this page. What they did is they corrected the buyer associate, the seller's associate columns. So they just put them on the right sides is all they did. Commercial contracts. So right here, the previous version, further acknowledge agreed to by the parties that blank buyer, blank seller will pay the seller's broker commission equal to blank of the purchase price of the contract. Here it just breaks it down that in-house transaction parties only. What did they do here? Okay, remove commission language from paragraph 20 to include the cooperative compensation supplement. Okay. So they took the compensation for the agents out of the contract and they put it as an addendum for the cooperative supplements. Okay. So that makes sense. Commercial land, guys. They did the same thing. It has to do with the compensation. So it has to do the same thing. Seller counter offer. This is for commercial? Oh, no, residential. Residential. So seller counter offer for residential. They added the word residential on it. They added the word residential on it. For the counter offer, page 1 of 2, they added the word residential on it right there. All other terms, conditions. What did they change here? All other terms, condition. All other terms of the attached contract, sell real estate, and if included, supplements shall remain the same. Okay, that's always been. In the event there's conflict between terms, condition, buyer counteroffer, seller's counteroffer, the terms, condition of the attached contract to sell, and if includes supplements, terms, conditions of the buyer's counteroffer shall govern. Buyer's counteroffer to seller's counteroffer. See, they're filling that up with crap. They're filling that up with crap. It's supposed to be a stepped counteroffer system. Modifying title for use only with residential sales contract. Clarify language, include terms and other forms. The terms and contracts the buyer counteroffer shall govern. This is stupid. They're cluttering these contracts up. I don't agree with that. I'll have to seek some clarification on it because that was a dumb change. Remove first sentence of the note regarding the amendments and modifications set forth only on the terms of the counteroffer. So, buyer's counteroffer, seller's counteroffer. Remove the first sentence of the note regarding amendments and modifications set forth on only the terms of the counteroffer form. So, all other amendments to the supplemental contract sell real estate and, if included, supplemental related addenda set forth on this counteroffer only. Terms of the contract sell real estate includes supplements related addenda shall be in effect unless further modified on this form. I think that one makes sense. Terms of this contract, sell real estate, seller's counter, if included, supplements, and related addenda shall be in effect unless further modified on this form. Okay, that makes sense. All amendments, modified, including supplements related addenda shall be set forth on this counteroffer only. Okay, all right. Making sense. Making sense. Acknowledgement, confirmation, disclosures. Page 1, previous version, to be signed by buyer seller. Include clarifying language for counteroffers. To be signed by buyer seller, even if counteroffer is attached. Acknowledgement form. Okay, yeah. Everyone's got to sign the acknowledgement form. That makes sense. That makes sense. Everyone's got to sign the acknowledgement form. Lead-based page disclosures. They say they're matching EPA's updates. So now we just have initials. So we don't have check marks. Now we have initials. So initials are a lot easier. So that's nice. We only had check boxes in our software. Now we have initials, and those are a lot easier. Lead-based form initials, condominium association forms. So they're putting the title on there, condominium townhouse associations. So now there's not two forms, there's one form. So that's nice. Combine the two forms. Native American loan, ONAP, a mandatory clause, ONAP, mandatory clause. Reformatted mandatory clause to match other financial supplements and add clarification regarding counteroffers. Okay, nice little cleanup right there. VA guaranteed loan. It looks like they did the same thing. Reformatted the mandatory clause to match other financial supplements. So before the clause used to be here, now it's up here in the middle. And add clarification regarding counteroffers. Escalation addendum. To be signed by buyer seller, if counteroffer is attached. That's the second page of those, or the third. The second or third, depending on which one you're looking at. To be signed. Disclaimer, use escalation addendum is not recommended. Notice, pursuant the broker may be required to keep competing offers from a party or prospective party confidential. Okay, that makes sense. Just Changed up the words on that. So that's nice. Update escalation addendum to remove statement indicating forms not recommended by the commission. Rename the section as a notice instead of a disclaimer. Okay. Seller agrees to sell convey by special warranty deed. Love this. Love the special warranty deed clause. Love that. Added special warranty deed language and standard clauses. Very excited about that. Here's some standard clauses updates. Added notice requirement outlined in Senate Bill 1071 for wholesalers. Yep. You can back out of a wholesale contract now as a consumer if you need to. Added additional signature lines. Yep. We needed that. I was always just putting them underneath. I thought that was cute, and I just put them underneath. Having additional signature lines just makes sense. Mobile home. Oh, this is so cool. Filling out the mobile home thing. This is going to make the listing agents of mobile homes do better homework. Absolutely. This is going to be great. And me included. There's some mobile homes I just take a picture and I put the picture up there. But now filling this out, I like it. This is just taking the stuff I take the picture off and putting it on that form. I like that wholesale cancellation form. Like that one. Basically, if you need to cancel a wholesale deal, you fill that out. If you're doing a wholesale deal, verify with an attorney what you're doing. Notice to buyer. As real estate agents, we can't interfere with other people's contracts. So I wouldn't be able to help advise you. If you're in a wholesale deal, you got to get an attorney working on your behalf. As a real estate agent, if I try to interfere with someone else's contract, that could be contract interference and I could be sued. Get an attorney if you're in a bad wholesale deal that you don't agree with. Buyer risk, deed of theft. I don't know where I'm going to use that. Where am I going to use that? A notice completed each closing of transaction. Okay. I guess the title company's going to have to start doing that. I don't know. I'll just toss it in my buyer broker agreement. Get that signed when I do my buyer broker agreement. So the page number 40, guys. Way to go. So excuse me. Sorry about that. Right here, the non-residential guys, they still get to use the old counter offers where we just make up whatever we want. Those guys are those land guys, those commercial guys. They get to write it in like we used to, like we got to. We'd have to know the contract. Now we just like read a checklist and say, oh yeah, we need to check that part. We need to check this part. We need to check that part. Back then we had to read the contract, know exactly where it was at. And of course, 90% of them didn't. But 10% of them did. And I always enjoy working with those 10% that read the contract. And I learn stuff from other agents all the time. Like I either learn they don't read or I learn they do read. It's quite enjoyable, quite fun. But in all seriousness, guys, thank you so much. If you bared with me through that entire contract contract changes, they're getting ready to come up. I enjoyed spending that time with you. And I would love even more spending time with you over at eXp Realty. So if you're ready to find out more about how eXp Realty is obsessed with your success, and even if you weren't kicking the idea around, but now you're kind of like, well, what is Josh talking about? Schedule an appointment with me. My contact information is down in the box below. Just click the little calendar link, schedule a little appointment with me so we can talk about how eXp Realty can take your business to where you want it. Whether you're a broker wanting to scale back a little bit or you're a new agent wanting to get that training that you were promised that you never got, okay? Whatever you are, whatever walk you're in your real estate journey, reach out to me. I'd love to chat with you about how eXp Realty is absolutely obsessed with your success. Thanks for watching this video. Share it with anyone you know who needs to know these contract changes are coming up, and I'll try to put some timestamps below. They won't be good. They'll be like half good timestamps. I'll put some of those below. And then this video popping up right here, it's a whole playlist on real estate contracts that I put together. And this video popping up right here, that's a video that YouTube thinks that you're interested in. That video right there is all about creeping on you and knowing that you probably want to watch that one. That's probably the one you want to watch. See you guys on the next one.